Well, under normal circumstances, what I'm about to tell you would probably be considered breaking news. However, since the story involves the Pentagon, the U.S. Department of Defense, and the F-35's Joint Strike Fighter, well, it would actually be breaking news if there wasn't more bad news about the often troubled F-35 stealth fighter program. That's next on Maximus. Greetings everybody, yours truly Maximus here. Really quick, before we get started, if you haven't hit the subscribe button yet, I would really greatly appreciate you doing so. It's easy and it's always free. Well, according to the United States Department of Defense, the delivery of all, yes all, Lockheed Martin F-35A Lightning II Joint Strike Fighter jets has been placed on hold by the Pentagon after officials discovered that a component used in the manufacturing of the stealth fighter contains banned and illegal metal alloy materials produced and made by the People's Republic of China. Every one of the more than 825 F-35 fighter jets delivered so far over the course of the program contains the component made with Chinese alloy that has been prohibited by both the United States law and Pentagon regulations. Yet, somehow the component has been used in the aircraft since the program's inception. The Pentagon's F-35 program office says that the component, a magnet used in F-35 turbo machine pumps supplied by Honeywell International, has been used in the plane since 2003. On Wednesday, September 7, the Pentagon suspended all further deliveries of new F-35s to ensure that the program complies with regulations related to specialty metals. F-35 spokesman Russell Gomeyer said that the program, which may eventually result in the delivery of over 3,000 total jet fighters, will now seek a national security waiver for the banned part from the Pentagon's top acquisition official, William LaPlante, to resume deliveries of already assembled new aircraft containing the alloy. LaPlante, speaking to Pentagon reporters, said a waiver was likely as long as there were no security or safety issues. He said he was hoping that this can be resolved pretty soon. According to a Pentagon spokesperson, the program office doesn't anticipate replacing magnets in delivered aircraft. Replacing them could entail costly and time-consuming retrofits of the over 500 U.S. training and operational aircraft. The company said that the Pentagon and Lockheed Martin, which builds the aircraft, have found a U.S. source for the alloy for future planes. However, they didn't specify where. U.S. law and Pentagon acquisition regulations strictly prohibit the use of specialty metals or alloys made in China, Iran, North Korea, or Russia. Must not have been too strict, since it's been going on 2 decades now before they found it. The Defense Contract Management Agency first reported the violation to the F-35 program office on August 19 of this year. But over a decade ago, the Pentagon granted a waiver to Honeywell allowing the use of Chinese magnets and other F-35 components, saying that the program already beset by delays and cost overruns would have been delayed even more. The F-35 team, including Lockheed Martin and the Joint Program Office, determined that there is no security risk or safety of flight risk to the aircraft or program from the turbo machine components. They said that the part has no technical flaws and poses no security risk to the U.S.'s top stealth fighter or its 8 million lines of software code. Instead, it's a question of supply chain security and why the banned alloy wasn't detected for nearly 2 decades by Honeywell. Plus, the Pentagon's policy that China poses the biggest threat to the U.S. globally only adds to the challenge. The case illustrates what LaPlante called supply chain illumination. Well, there's some government word salad for you. LaPlante said he had a CEO recently tell him that he thought he only had 300 suppliers, But after an internal audit of all of the suppliers, he actually discovered that they had over 3,000 suppliers. And the plant added that suppliers can change like that overnight. When the halt was announced, Honeywell said it was working with the Pentagon and Lockheed and was committed to supplying high-quality products that meet or exceed all customer contract requirements. The device in question is a magnet contained in a Honeywell turbo machine that integrates the aircraft's auxiliary power unit and an air cycle machine into a single piece of equipment that provides electrical power for ground maintenance, main engine startup, and emergency power. Oh yeah, nothing important about that. The part in question includes a cobalt and samarium alloy recently discovered to be produced in the People's Republic of China and magnetized in the U.S. Lockheed Martin said the alloy was provided to a Honeywell subcontractor by a lower-tier supplier. Lockheed Martin spokeswoman Laura Siebert said in a statement that we are working with our partners in the DoD to ensure contractual compliance within the supply chain. We are working with the DoD to resolve the issue as quickly as possible to resume deliveries. Lockheed Martin delivered 88 of the contracted 148 F-35 jets this year before the halt. You know, the military has had a word for situations like this, and I'm sure many of you who serve and have served are familiar with the word FUBAR.
FUBAR. FUBAR. FUBAR. FUBAR. Y'all got that right.
Well, if you're unfamiliar with this term, in its cleaned up version, it stands for fouled up beyond all recognition. I'm no expert, but this sure feels like a FUBAR situation to me. But what this actually feels like is that Honeywell knew exactly where the metal alloy came from, but figured the Pentagon would never find out. And they almost didn't. It still took over 20 years. This reminds me of another government agency, the FAA's oversight of the Boeing MAX project. You know the old phrase, I'd rather beg for forgiveness than ask for permission. Seems that was Honeywell's thinking. But that's just a personal observation. Well, I gotta be honest, I don't know a lot about the F-35, other than it's supposed to be the best stealth fighter the U.S. has ever produced. And it's also been said that it's the worst stealth fighter the U.S. has ever produced. So this is where I'm counting on my aviator veterans out there to enlighten me on the subject. Is the F-35 a great plane or is it not? Is this Chinese metal alloy thing a big deal or not? What do you think? Let me know down below. Well, that's going to wrap it up for now. Please be sure to subscribe, like, share, and ring the bell. And remember, leave the rubber on the runway and your troubles on the ground. And I will see you next time in the air. Yeah, this is Maximus.